Welcome to another episode of Direct to Review. This is your favorite host ever, Celeste, and I'm joined with your least favorite host, Leonard.
You know, that was a moderately okay intro.
Thank you.
That's the highest rating I give somebody.
No, apparently 15 Goldblums is.
No. That's movies. People. All right. Yep, we're back. It's another Monday episode of the randomness that we like to do, which is
This
usually
is a Netflindy.
Hey, we ended our sentence at the same time.
We
are married.
We end each other's sandwiches.
Okay, that officially went wrong. Anyways.
That's what I was going to say.
Shut up. All right. So today we're doing the Netflix original movie, The Polka King, just came out with Jack Black and Jenny Slate, Jason Schwartzman, the rest.
Jackie Weaver.
We know who Jackie Weaver is?
She's in
Silver Linings Playbook?
Yeah, she's the mom of...
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's the mom. She's like...
Sorry, she was so 90s out.
I didn't even know. Yeah, no,
and of course, JB Smoove, which if you don't know who
just look him up and you're like, wow, I literally know you from everything.
Commercials even from when you were a kid in the 90s. He did Burger King commercials. Anyways.
Really?
Yeah, I remember him pretty well from that.
Interesting.
All right, so this is a biography comedy drama, apparently, according to IMDb.
Biography comedy drama.
Which is the perfect thing for Jack Black. If you've ever watched Bernie, it's the same thing.
He was made for this role.
Yeah. So it's about a local Pennsylvania polka legend, Jan Lewin. Jan, who developed a plan to get rich that turned into a Ponzi scheme pretty quickly. It snowballed.
It didn't start off as a Ponzi scheme.
No, and you know what? Jan was 100% a genuine person. He wanted to work hard. He worked like 40 jobs.
Because he was an immigrant.
Yeah. So he worked
hard. All the jobs.
Yeah. And he wanted to just...
He wanted to build his polka empire.
Which, by the way... Don't build a polka empire. That never works.
Just don't do it. I mean, the old people seem to love it. The old people of Pennsylvania.
Well, Pennsylvania in general loves polka. That's known.
Really?
There's a song called Pennsylvania Polka.
Oh my God.
Like back in the 40s and 50s, they had a style of big band called polka, which was essentially just polka, normal polka. But it was so big in Pennsylvania that they would have big festivals in the towns. I kid you not. So polka is a big deal. It was. I don't know about now. I'm not from Pennsylvania.
Maybe not after the fall of the Polka King.
Maybe not. Maybe Jan Lewin's downfall.
It ended it all.
So, all right. So what's this movie about, Celeste?
We just said what it was about.
Again,
the Ponzi scheme.
When I say that, you know that's the breakdown. That's what I tossed to Trevor. Where is Trevor?
Trevor's not here.
Why is Trevor not here?
Trevor's
Celeste?
taking care of his pregnant, beautiful wife.
Yes, we want to say an early congratulations to the Thomases. We don't know if he's going to be on the next one, but he is getting ready for a baby to appear.
It's just going to appear out of nowhere. Magic. Where do babies come from? Magic.
Yeah, so I hope the best for him and Erica right now, and that they're not trying to kill each other because she's sick and she doesn't feel well and she's pregnant. That's a horrible thing. That's a horrible combination.
Poor Erica.
Horrible combination. Anyways, okay.
Okay. Let me break down this movie.
There we go. That's what I was trying to get from you.
You should have been like the breakdown.
No,
and I would have been
not
like,
what we do. That's not what we do.
Introducing the breakdown. Okay, so
we've lost all of our listeners.
We got Jack Black, the Polka King, Jan. He's married to, what's his wife's name in this movie? Marla, who is Jenny Slate. And she was a beauty queen. That's how they met. They met at a telethon.
Yeah, for
and
cancer.
He was performing Beat the Cancer.
To beat all the cancer. He was going to get rid of all the cancer.
All of it. And Jason Schwartzman plays his... Oh, what is that instrument?
He's a clarinetist, but he was also like a drummer and a bunch of other things. His stage name is Mickey Pizzazz.
It was Mickey something else, but then he was like, "You are now Mickey Pizzazz." After they met the Pope,
I mean, generally, this movie is about a hardworking immigrant that
has the mother-in-law that everyone apparently has.
He's trying to keep his band together at one point, and he decides the best way to do it is get investments, and it was a legit investment. It was a 12% return that he was giving people. Nobody was upset with him. Nobody hated it until, for some reason, it's like this. What sparked it was the government coming to him. That's what did it.
The government came to him before everything, and he
was already taking investments. That's why they came to him. They're like, "Hey, have you been taking investments under the Jan Lewin gift and store, Polka and store?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, yeah," and they were like, "Well, you can't do that. You haven't filed anything with the state, so you have to stop. You have to stop immediately and give all the money back." And that's when he goes, "Now in my country, we do bribes. Do you do bribes?" "No, we don't do bribes. That's illegal. I don't do bribes either."
But that wasn't like when people started disliking him.
No, it was actually directly after that when a couple who had.
I don't think it was directly after that. It was after
it's when everything started going downhill.
Well, yeah, but the real downhill part was the pageant scandal.
Oh, no, that was the big one. Yeah, that's when everyone started hating him. But I'm saying things started going downhill directly after he met with the government agent who was like, "You have to stop."
And he was like, "You have to pay all of these people back,"
which was negative. He had negative $238,000 to give them.
$263, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It was like $200,000, more than $200,000 he had to pay back to them, but he didn't have the money, and that's how much he was short because he took in like 30-some million. Because I saw that 30. Oh no, it was at 30,000, but it was like it's in the millions. Because the first thing that he did was he was trying to figure out how much he'd given. People were giving him like $10,000, like $20,000, and then when he was just about to like kind of give up, a couple that was already invested with him wanted to invest more, $50,000.
So he created another
American Polka Incorporated,
which, typewriter days, he just typed it up on a piece of paper and was like, "Yep, sign this."
And that's exactly what happened. And then I think he created a few other
shell
companies.
He had different branches.
Yeah, and he was taking in millions. I think, and the final total was like 9 million or something like that.
He owes like 4 million to people, but he does vow to pay it back.
He is actually. I saw a interview with, I think, WPXI in Pennsylvania. I think it was WPXI. I could be getting the call letters all wrong. But anyways, that he is actually actively paying them.
So sweet.
And he gave an interview and he was like, you just have that moment where you're in over your head and it just gets worse and it just continues to get worse.
But he loved America.
And he loved polka. And that was the thing. Like, he wanted to afford a dancing bear and a dancing chicken. And I understand that need. I want to afford a dancing bear and a dancing chicken. Sadly, I cannot do that on my salary. Will I start a Ponzi scheme? Maybe. Will I do it now? Who knows? I have a few
You will not do that. You will never do that.
Listen.
You're not going to prison. I'm not going to prison. No one is doing a Ponzi scheme.
Well, anyway, so everything goes to crap. And he gets 5 years in prison.
Speaking of Ponzi schemes, donate to our Patreon.
That's not a Ponzi scheme. You get non-material things back for that.
Right. You get an early release of a podcast and a shout out.
Yeah. Woo woo. Anyways. So yeah, 5 years in prison. He gets stabbed in the neck. It's wonderful.
His wife leaves him.
His wife leaves him while he's in prison. For good reason, kind of.
His son becomes good businessman.
Now, we're skimming over it a little bit because there's some, like, I don't know. I just want you to watch it.
This is a great movie. You should watch it. It's so good. He has the overbearing mother-in-law that's like, "You need to get your head blah, blah, blah. Your head out of the clouds and get a real job."
The best part about the movie was Jan's absolute positive attitude.
That is the best news.
Like, he was in prison and he found out that his mother-in-law defended him at a grocery store by throwing eggs at a car. And he's like, "Mama defended me. That is best news." Like, Yes. Yes, it is, Jan.
It is best
It
news.
is.
Now your wife is gonna leave you.
Yeah, that's not best news.
I love Jan so much in this movie.
Honestly, I do. Yeah,
I
mean,
love
you love
him.
him. And the thing is, like, he wasn't super shady, and so he didn't come out with the intention to do it, but then eventually decided to do it because he wanted to keep things
As
going.
the mother-in-law pointed out as she was throwing the eggs at the car, you chose to invest with him. You
Well-
did it because you're greedy. How are you going to get 12% when the bank only gives you 3?
Exactly. And also, a lot of these people, a lot of the money came from the same people. They would invest and then reinvest and reinvest because they were greedy. They wanted more and more and more and more.
And he was giving them checks. There
Yeah.
was one guy who was like, he was doing confession, and the priest was like, "Are you talking about your investments? My aunt lives off of those checks every month."
Interest checks, yeah.
So he was giving them money.
Mind you, he was using other people's money to pay that.
It's fine.
but
It's fine. He was being a good person. I just love him.
I just honestly wonder what would have happened had the government never come to him. Would it end up being like a Ponzi scheme? Because he wasn't trying to screw people over.
He just wanted big polka empire. He wanted to meet with Hollywood execs to get show.
So the other thing is, like, we got to talk about the Vatican because
Oh my
it's like
God.
so hilarious.
The trip to see the
And
Pope.
the thing is like this is all true.
Like he actually did this.
So he goes on to a local cable access channel and announces that they're doing a special European tour that ends with a private meeting with the Pope. So obviously, there is no freaking way anybody's going to get a private meeting with the Pope. Though this is the 90s, so you know
Such
who's the Pope.
simpler times.
The Pope was Pope John Paul II the
And
Amazing.
he was a gift.
So they go through the whole thing, and they actually do go to Warsaw and go all over Europe. But then just right
they
before
do the capital tour.
yeah. Right before they get to the meeting with the Pope, him and Jason Schwartzman get back on the bus. He's going to go and bribe somebody. He has a bunch of money. This is the first time Jason Schwartzman character, Mickey, is finding out that Jan isn't always telling the truth. And they basically run through the streets of Venice to find anybody that could help him. And apparently he eventually bribes a priest. They get into a meeting room, and Mickey is sweating profusely because he's so freaked out and doesn't know what's going to happen.
Is
And
the
sure
Pope
enough,
going to come?
an hour and a half past the time he said he was supposed to be there, the freaking Pope comes in and meets with people. And the best part is at the end of the movie, they show the actual photos from the meeting with the
From
Pope.
the freaking meeting with the Pope!
How do you do that? Like, I kind of understand why you would believe this man all the time, because he literally made things happen.
And he was so lovable. I could
was.
see why this priest was like, yeah, I'm going to get this polka guy a meeting with the Pope. I kind of like him.
And again, it was Pope John Paul II.
So
If you're not Catholic and you don't know much about him,
even if you're like, I wasn't Catholic growing up, and I know that man was amazing.
he was a saint. He was literally
Literally
a
a saint.
I think they actually did make him a saint.
As they should. He was so amazing.
Or at least he was up for sainthood. But they tried to find a miracle, and I don't think they did. Oh, no. He healed somebody. That's right. He made someone see or walk again or breathe. I don't remember. But
One of the life
it was
things.
something.
But anyway,
Someone's alive now.
he was the most caring and generous man.
But seriously.
just
and so
like
was Jan.
Jan. Oh,
So this movie, fantastic. It's dark. It's
it
witty.
has been put into the Sundance Film Festival apparently, or it was.
Oh, really?
So it was nominated for something.
That's fantastic. I can look at the awards right here because I've been trying to follow all of that stuff. I can't look at the awards right here because apparently they have it. Oh.
No.
No. No.
No.
No.
No.
So I'm going to look at Sundance. Anyways. So, yeah.
It just said it was selected as an official entry into the Sundance Film Festival.
So
Oh, okay.
it's okay.
So it was just an entry, but still.
It was an entry, so it hasn't been nominated for anything.
But
It's still early though, Goes till the 28th.
Okay.
I don't remember when the awards are, though.
Who knows?
Oh, Park City, Utah. I wish I was there right now. Anyways.
Utah?
Not in Utah, just because of Utah. I want to be there for Sundance.
Oh, okay. I mean, Utah has pretty mountains and stuff.
That's true. And it's snowing right now.
Oh,
That's kind of cool.
I'm not fond
No?
of that. I can't drive in it.
Okay.
I'm a
Anyways,
California girl.
Polka King. Please go watch it. Like, I can't say that enough. I think it's
so
amazing.
good. I don't know how it got a 5.8 on IMDb because it was so good.
It was. Oh, I see what you're talking about. The release was at Sundance last year.
The release was at Sundance.
It was last year when it was released. It was worldwide this year on the 12th.
Got
so almost a full year later. Wow.
Well, they did start production in 2016, so
Which
means that's a quick turnaround because they started in July of 2016.
Oh, wow.
And it was already at Sundance in January.
Well, that's the thing, though. It wasn't exactly an intense film. There was
true.
a little bit of travel, but honestly...
They had, like, your 3 main locations.
Yeah, and you could pretty much just bump through this scene by scene pretty fast. And you have... I mean, freaking Jack Black was made to play the Polka King.
Honestly, I want to see the extra footage from this.
I don't think there is any. I think it literally was just one shot in the can. Because you have Jason Schwartzman, who is so freaking like nervous all the time anyway, so he is Mickey Pizzazz. And then you have Slate, who
Slate,
who plays Marla, who is essentially just Marla. Like she is that conceited kind of.
She always plays characters like that, and I'm like, is this you in real life?
No, actually, I hear she's like super sweet and everything.
Really? So. Well, Marla was sweet. She just, had given it up all for the Polka King.
That's true. All right, so what would you give this movie?
That was in Goldblum's.
Whoa! Hey, no!
This movie.
Do not abuse the Goldblum system.
Okay, fine then. I'm gonna give it.
That's a crazy number of Goldblums.
It's so good. Okay, I'm gonna give it 5 glittery jackets.
Okay, after you give this fake one, give a real one.
Okay.
This deserves it.
5 glittery jackets out of 3 Ponzi schemes.
Oh dear. Now, out of 10?
Huh?
Out of 10?
Sure. No, because then I went 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Okay. I'm giving this 10 Goldblums. That's right.
But each Goldblum is worth 5 stars.
Exactly. 50 stars.
50 stars.
God, I'm an idiot. Anyway.
50 gold fucking stars.
So, if you have Netflix, please watch The Polka King.
I feel like we're begging people to watch it.
It's so good. Listen, if you're going to watch that, you should watch Jack Black's other biopic film that he does, which is called Bernie. That one is a dark comedy.
I've never seen Bernie.
It's a really good movie. It's about a guy he's like this sweet guy who in the town everyone turned to whenever they needed anything because he would just take care of everything. But he ends up meeting this woman at church, older woman, who everyone hates and wants to die. I saw the
beginning of this movie. Okay, yeah. I just never finished it.
They want her all. They all want her to die. She's evil, but she ends up falling for him, and they kind of get a relationship.
Wasn't he like the caretaker? Not the caretaker,
no,
but like
she was more like her.
He was. She was his
sugar mama.
No, he worked at the mortuary though, didn't he?
No.
I thought he did. He led all of the funerals and stuff. Yeah, he led
all the funerals and stuff. But I don't know. Maybe he did work at the mortuary. Oh, yeah, he did. Yes. Yeah.
He was he was the only one in town.
Yeah. But, so she is basically his sugar daddy. And eventually he kills her and continues to spend her money. And it's a good film because they have like these fake interviews with like townspeople, and they always tell about.
Is it like Drop Dead Gorgeous style?
Yeah, and the best part about it is,
which Drop Dead Gorgeous, another great film. Go watch that.
Seriously, there's a lot, and
you can only buy it on the DVD from like the Warner's warehouse or something weird like that.
Yeah, because it's impossible to find, which is stupid.
But anyway, back to Bernie.
Well, they're just the great moments where they're like, well. Nobody blames Bernie for doing this. He's a good man. She probably made him.
She provoked him.
Where they started getting angry at Bernie was when he was giving money away to people and then stopped giving money away to people.
Oh.
That's where they were getting angry.
Got it.
Yeah.
Rude.
Totes. All right. Well, I think that was a good movie to start our week off with.
It made me so happy.
It did. It's just a good film. So, Celeste, you watch anything fun?
I finished End of the Fucking World, which Leonard finished the last.
Right, the last four episodes were incredible, so I might have to actually watch the
I watched it from the beginning, and they're only 20-minute episodes, so it's just so quick to get through, and so that was great. I feel like the last time I talked about it, I was a little lukewarm, but at the end, I can say that it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it had a good. I felt like the resolve wasn't there though.
I think that was the point, though.
Oh, that's ridiculous. That's what I used to do with my movies.
So, what I'm hearing is it's great. I don't think I've started anything else, honestly. I feel like it just ended End of the Fucking World.
You know what I'm watching very slowly?
Like at snail's pace?
Yes. Grand Tour. Season 2.
Mm-hmm. On Amazon.
I enjoy that so much.
Coming at you from Amazon Prime.
But the problem is that they're like an hour and 20 minutes a piece.
That's so long.
And it's like, I'll sit there because we'll put it on and I'll drink my coffee. It's morning and I'm like, oh, this is basically how I grew up, watching car shows in the morning, all morning. And this takes all morning sometimes.
Right? It's like an hour and a half later. Okay, now we can start our day.
Yeah. So I'll sit there with my coffee and just enjoy my British buffoonery on TV and have fun with it.
You know what show was really... You watched more of it than I did. Comedians in the Car Getting Coffee.
Oh my God.
On Netflix.
I freaking loved it. The thing is that they're 10-minute episodes.
But they're so funny.
And they're so good.
I've only seen a couple of them, but they're great.
They're really, really good. And they're worth just kind of plowing through all of them. But apparently they have 3 stages of it right now.
Nice.
So there's a ton of them. I didn't even know there were that many. I was just in the first part of it.
Oh.
They have it by roast, I think.
Oh, that's great.
So it's cool. But it was actually a web series first.
So it's Jerry Seinfeld. He gets all these cool cars.
Because he's a collector.
And he picks up other celebrities and takes them to a diner and they just chat.
About cars, about comedy, about life.
And my favorite was the one with, what's his name?
Which one?
Gosh dang it.
Chris Rock?
No, the Last Week Tonight guy.
Oh, John Oliver.
Yes.
John Oliver. That was a good one.
That was a
they
good
were having
one.
so much fun. I think at some point they just completely forgot that they were doing a series at all because they were just having so much fun talking to each other.
And then Jim Carrey was funny.
Jim Carrey, man, we gotta talk about Jim Carrey for a second.
Okay, so we watched.
We gotta
We
talk
watched
about
that documentary. Remember the documentary we watched? What was
Andy.
it called?
Jim and Andy.
So we watched Jim and Andy on Netflix, and it's a interview with Jim Carrey as he stands now.
Yeah. About him playing Andy Kaufman. I know I've talked about this before on here. About him playing Andy Kaufman in Man in the Moon, who, if you don't know who Andy Kaufman is, he was what was known as a shock comedian or a shock artist. He basically would stage fights, controversy, just to get a rise out of people, and he thought it was hilarious. And he eventually died of cancer, which everyone thought he was kidding. So,
it would be the greatest joke.
But at the same time, he created a whole other character, Andy Kaufman did, of this lounge singer who is really disgusting and weird. And I can't ever remember his name because I don't give a flying crap. Because whenever I see him, I just get angry. What was his name? Do you remember?
I don't know. But what I was taking away from it is so Jim Carrey is not the Jim Carrey I grew up with now.
No, not at all.
He's very into peace and meditation and...
Well, I have a little trivia on that, actually.
Oh, you do?
Yes. So I'm trying to hold on one second. I'm trying to find the name of the lounge
If
singer.
you just go to the
the picture. That's right.
no, not the picture.
Not the picture.
No.
Where am I going?
Technically, it's Jim and Andy, and then with a contractual obligated mention of
Tony
Clifton.
Tony Clifton. He was a fake lounge singer, anyways. That him and his best friend would switch off playing. Okay. Anyways, so the Dharma School of, oh God, well, it's the Dharma School, which is Transcendentalism. Mm-hmm. He is actually a student of Transcendentalism, and he was a master's. He has a master's degree or a doctoral degree in Transcendentalism. I don't remember exactly what caused him to switch to doing that, but I remember that for a long time on the internet, there was this speech that was going around that he did at one of their ceremonies. I don't think they call it graduation, but it was a graduation ceremony. And he was talking about the relation to him and acting, and how my favorite thing, which is him talking about his dad, and saying that his dad got fired from a safe job because he wanted to be a comedian or wanted to be an actor. But
I thought he was like a real good saxophone player or something, or
he was a good comedian.
He was a musician,
and he was also a good comedian.
But he was a musician. He was like working as a musician, but then he had a family, so then he was like,
well, he wanted to be in show business one way or another.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm gonna be an accountant.
Right, and then he got fired from it. And Jim Carrey always points out, you can fail at the thing you don't love, fail at the thing you hate, so you might as well fail at the thing you love.
I think also he had mentioned this in the Jim and Andy documentary, that he was tired of trying to get the love from and the admiration from all the people and getting the acceptance from them, And
that would be rough, because when he started his career, his whole thing was about just trying to make people notice him. His first ever TV appearance, which was in Canada, because he's Canadian, he decided to pull out all these different impressions, and that wasn't his act. It had never been his act. But he did it because it was what people wanted. And that's just what he kept giving them over and over and over. And his whole catchphrase of "alrighty then" actually came from him coming out on stage, and he would go, "How's everyone doing tonight? Alrighty then," to try and show that he didn't care about them. Because, that was about the whole abuse economy.
Because he did care.
He did. He did care, and he didn't care at the same time. And now he is a hippie who is an incredible artist. And if ever I could get the opportunity to buy one of his paintings, oh my God, I would. There's a few of them that I saw, because in comedians get in cars getting coffee, they actually go to his studio, and there are some gorgeous paintings up that I would buy in a heartbeat.
He's just a gifted artist all around.
He really is. But he looks like a homeless guy.
He does.
Really does.
If I saw him on the side of the road, I would drive past.
Honestly, though, I shouldn't judge. I'm the kind of person that just thinks that you feel your best when you look your best on the outside, even though I don't get to dress the way I want to dress, but that's because of our money situation. So I am basically a homeless person. Homeless person with a home.
You have a town home.
I have a town home.
I think you're okay.
Sure. I don't own the town home, but I...
Well, you can pay rent on it,
That's
which
true.
makes you not homeless.
But I would rather use that to look good. Which I don't.
Okay, boo-boo. We'll go be hobos so that you can look good.
That sounds good. But yeah, so
good luck showering.
But with him, transcendentalism, material things don't matter, so his appearance doesn't matter and all of that other stuff. When you see
But he's
him,
still hilarious.
Yeah, but what I love actually is that he is so dedicated to this idea that even when you see him on like the Tonight Show and stuff like that, he doesn't dress up, he doesn't get into anything. He comes out as himself. I think that's fantastic. I think at least if you're going to be going to do something, be behind it all the way, in which he is. So I just
like Tom Cruise.
Oh my God, him and his Scientology. Wait, we can't mention it because they'll sue us.
Scratch that.
Listen, we're not attacking Scientology. You want to be a Scientologist, you go do your thing.
Go join Tom Cruise.
I mean, I don't encourage it because honestly, it is a cult. And personally, I think
they're going to come after us.
I personally think Tom Cruise is crazy for doing that, but I love him as an actor. So I'm kind of mixed. because I loved him in The Last Samurai, which is not talked about enough.
I thought it was talked about a lot, no?
Not enough anymore.
Oh, anymore. It's like 10 years old plus,
Older
isn't
than
it?
that, actually. It's such a good movie, though. You can't really go wrong with it.
That's true.
You really can't. So is there any like celebrity news right now? I'm trying to think.
Celebrity news.
It like comes across my desk all the time, and because I don't think it's real news, I don't deal with it ever.
What's the trial of working at a news station? This isn't real news.
No, I just like, oh, that's nice. Throws it away. I pretend like I have physical papers on my desk, but I don't even have a desk. So
You have a desk.
I have a table where a computer sits.
You have a cubicle.
I have a half of a wall.
You have a
No,
cubicle.
literally, we only have half of a wall. The rest is the wall to the building.
You-
And it doesn't even close all the way. I don't think there is any celebrity news actually this week.
Well, the SAG Awards happened,
Oh
right?
yeah, and you know what? One was Shape of Water, best producing or best something like that.
Interesting. And then This Is Us really took the charge on the TV front.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but people say it's really good. They say it's a lot like Parenthood. I watched Parenthood and I loved Parenthood, but I don't like being emotional. So
Honestly, I've heard a lot of people at my work watched it. They are more in tune with being human than I am. So personally,
to be human.
I would have no desire to watch it because it sounds kind of sappy.
I love this happy.
Yeah, I know.
It's I was going through, you were talking to Alina and I was kind of in my own world. This is a great year for movies.
Is it?
So in just the month of May, The Avengers, Solo, and one other one.
That's going to be a rough month for me
Why?
because our movie pass will not allow us to go and see those on opening night.
Well, we can wait a day, friend.
We cannot.
We can wait a day.
Fine.
There's one more coming out in May that I was like,
I
May's
think-
gonna
but-
be great.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Like just
And like
through the
Black
end of this
Panther,
month, too.
it comes out in February. And
That's gonna be a good movie. I have high hopes
it
for that
is.
movie. It looks like it's well done. It looks like it's put together well, and that the story isn't all messed up.
I'm excited for Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider looks good.
I know you're excited for Pacific Rim.
Yes, I'm also excited for like Winchester,
Oh, Winchester.
which is coming out in February. There's so many movies coming out. It's crazy.
I'm so glad we have our movie pass.
Seriously.
Movie pass sponsor us.
If you don't know what a movie pass is and we're just saying things and you're just like, movie pass is where you can pay $9.95 a month and go as many times to the movies as you like, as long as it's not opening night and not 3D. Those are the restrictions.
The other one is Deadpool.
Deadpool.
So you have Avengers, Deadpool, and then Solo.
Wow, that's going to be a busy month.
Yeah.
Well, in February we have Early Man, which is
In
the
June,
Wallace and
the
Gromit.
long-awaited Incredibles 2.
I cannot wait for that. When is
we have
Wreck-It
waited.
Ralph 2 coming out? though?
Um,
And yeah, we have waited an insane amount of time for it to take place directly after the first movie.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is coming out in July.
Oh, I didn't even know that had been
Yeah,
fully confirmed.
and I know Leonard has never seen Mamma Mia, but Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again is coming out in July.
You know what movie looks good? Red Sparrow. I
It
might
does
be
look good.
Okay, I'm wondering if
No.
I was like alone in that.
No, I think it looks good.
That
I'm here
looks
for
like
that.
Jennifer Lawrence looks like she's going to be a good Russian spy.
Right, such a great Russian spy.
And another one that I'm looking forward to that I know no one else is Death Wish, which is a remake of the Charles Bronson film with Bruce Willis. That looks really, really well done.
Oh, I'm in 2018. Apparently, Mulan's coming out in 2018.
Okay, this is 2018.
Oh, okay. Well, these have months. Oh my God, November. Oh my God, we're in 2018. Oh my God.
She doesn't
Anyway,
know where she is.
anyway, Mulan is apparently coming out in November.
Another movie, Annihilation, which should be pretty good.
Fantastic Beasts Part 2: The Crimes of Grindelwald?
Grindelwald.
Oh, okay, coming out in November.
Yay.
Full disclosure, I've only seen a couple Harry Potter movies.
Island of Dogs.
Oh, here it is.
March 23rd.
Wreck-It Ralph, November 21st.
Oh, but this is the one that I'm waiting for, and this is the one we should talk about.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse on December 14th.
No. Into the Spider-Verse. I think that is an animated
Aquaman.
thing. Yeah, those are all animated.
Aquaman's gonna be animated?
I think the Spider-Verse one is animated.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know about the Aquaman.
Mary Poppins Returns.
Hold on. Something comes out on March 30th that we need to talk about here.
Oh.
Put the phone down.
No, I want to see what it is.
Oh my God. It is called Ready Player One. Now, this is a Steven Spielberg film that is going to be the only thing I talk about, whether it's good or bad, for months afterwards, because it is set in the future, when specifically the futuristic Ohio, where the population has exploded. There's no space left for people, so everyone goes to this virtual place that is just like an incredible utopia. And the current generation is called the Missing Millions because they literally just spend their entire lives in this VR system.
That sounds great.
But the creator of it dies. And his last, mind you, this is not what the trailer says. I had to go and find a synopsis of the film. So the creator dies, and he tells everyone, announces it, says, there is an Easter egg hidden in my game. Whoever finds this Easter egg first gets the Oasis, which is the name of the game, and all of my millions. So the entire world just tears this game apart. And it's like everything from Iron Giant to like the Avengers to Overwatch characters and the DeLorean, Back to the Future, all these different characters that these people are playing because they mod their game and they change their look and everything. It's just, it looks like a gamer's wet dream, honestly. It looks amazing. And I cannot wait to see it because obviously I've been a gamer since I was 5 years old, which I started on the original Nintendo. Not the Nintendo Classic. No, when it was just called Nintendo, and that's all it was. And it was just, that's what you did. You're like, oh, what are you going to do? I'm going to go play Nintendo. That could have meant any video game system, but you're going to go play Nintendo. Because it was just, it's like Kleenex, it's a brand, but it's how you describe it. Anyways, that's just my rant.
Okay, honey.
So.
Okay, that's what you do when you're married. You kind of just zone out, and then you go, okay, sweetie.
Yeah, she has no clue what I just said.
You're playing the Nintendo. Got it.
All right. I think we should probably wrap this one up. Are you there? Yeah. Hello?
I mean, if you're ready to wrap it up.
Well, I mean, what else we got? You got more?
No.
Well, making me look a fool. Making me look a fool.
Always.
I always appreciate that. That's
You're welcome. That's why we got married.
Exactly.
To look a fool.
All right. Okay, let's do this. Let's end this thing. I am catching a cold. It's a wonderful day.
Keep that cold to yourself.
It's gonna be that's why I've been trying to sniffle off camera, off microphone every so often. So I'm gonna go and lay in bed and not die. And I hope you have a much better rest of the day than I'm going to have. And we will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.